Welcome to PowerTrade. My name is Ted Posobiec. Let's get started here with the disclaimer. Go ahead and take a look at this real quick. Remember, there is risk in trading live money, so don't risk money you can't afford to lose. I'm not a financial advisor. I am a full-time day trader. Let's get going here. PowerTrade trading format. Training format. This is a 20-minute training session on a new topic every week. Live trade for 10 minutes, and join me in a 20-minute interactive mastermind towards the end there. Is the microphone on? If your computer has a working microphone, you may be asked to join in on a conversation during the mastermind. Your participation is very important and will help accelerate your learning curve. Each mastermind includes wins. Tell us about your best trade of the week so far. Lessons. What did you learn this week that would benefit others? Q&A. What can we help clarify that will help you be a better trader? Those are the topics that we'll be going over, or those are the things we'll be going over here. About WINvesting. Established in early 2009, we've helped thousands of students and traders like you in over 53 countries around the world. Our focus is to help you get real-world profits without risking hard-earned cash. We do that via our 6-step profitability path so you can learn in virtually a risk-free, stress-free environment. For more information on that, go to www.WINvesting.com. About your host, Ted Posobiec, that's me, Chief Trading Strategist at WINvesting.com, professional day trader, primarily futures. I host E-mini Insider Trading Room at WINvesting. Quick housekeeping notes here. Replays, we are recording this and we'll post the replay as soon as possible. Participate. Your active participation will help you reinforce what you learn. Send in topics for future power trades to support at WINvesting.com. Yes, I do the oil trade. We'll be doing one here around 2 o'clock. Before we get started, if you're risking your own money in the market, stop. Learn how to trade other people's money. OPM is what you'll hear me refer it to a lot with a prop firm. We recommend Top Step Trader. You can get funded for up to $150,000 in your trading account. We've done it, and our students have done it also. You keep 80% of the profits with zero risk. As far as I know, that's the best return you can get. I use it and like it. Go to www.winvesting.com/OPM for more information on this. As part one in the training, how to improve your consistency with advanced trade management. You'll hear it also as ATM or automatic trade management, but the correct term for it is advanced trade management. ATM is what you'll hear me refer to it a lot. Overview. What is advanced trade management? ATM. There you go. Why should you always use an ATM? How to set up a basic ATM system and how to set up one for trailing stops. ATM and OCO. What is advanced trade management? Advanced trade management, ATM, eliminates emotions by protecting open positions with automatic submitted stops and targets orders and self-tightening trailing stops. That's when you have all of them together. Why should you always use an ATM? Think of the ATM primarily as an automated way to reduce your risk. It helps you protect working capital to limit your loss if the market suddenly moves against you. When to know how much you are willing to risk or willing to lose on any one trade, you should automate your stops so that you take all the human error and emotions out of your trading. That's a big thing. I still have it. I let my ATM do the work for me up to a point where I'm a scalper, so I don't mind taking 3 ticks or 5 ticks. A lot of times if some sudden unknown news comes out, that's what really helps me with my stop that's put in. How to set up a basic ATM system. I need to get this page out of here. We're going to go over how to do that. Ninja 7, you can take a look at this link here. They'll help you guide through it for Ninja 7, and Ninja 8 is right here. I use these libraries quite often for 7 and 8. It's just something that you're going to want to know where it's at. You can run, type in NinjaTrader and support. Go to support and find out what you're looking for there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to set up ATM here real quickly. So let's go set up a basic ATM. What I mean by a basic ATM is 1 to 2 contracts, and first thing I want to do, I'll bring down, let's go to a blank page here. I'll bring down a chart. Don't need much of it. All I want to do is go to this here, and normally you'll first see a custom sign here. So we're going to go to custom here, and then we're going to go to ATM strategy, and this is what I'm looking at. So how many orders do you want to use? You can use 3. I'm going to set up a new one. I'm going to use three orders, and I want 3 targets. I'm going to set 1 here. Now you put however many you want. If you want 1 target, you just click 1, 2, or 3. A lot of times when I'm trading, trading on my own, I might go 2 contracts here at 1 target, 1 at the second, and 1 at the third. But for right now, we'll just do a 3 target setup and a stop loss. I want all of these the same. So let's go with a 7 on all 3 of these. And profit target, let's say we're going to go for a 5, 10, and let's make this one a 20. And there you have it. So I have 7 ticks stop for all 3. I've got 3 targets up. If I only wanted 2, I could take and hit this one there, and now I've only got 2 targets. We can keep that there, add the third one again, then you have to add everything back into it. So we'll put 1 here, 7 tick stop, and let's go with a 20 tick target. There we go. Did everybody follow me here? It's pretty good. Pretty good way to go, and that's just basic. That's basically how I have mine set up, either using a 1 target, 2 target, or 3 target. Pretty simple. Now the next thing I want to do is right click and hit Manage ATM Strategy Template, and I want to give this a name. And let's use this as what I like to do is I like to put first 5 tick, 10 tick, 20 tick target with a -7. So that's saved there. And now when I close this out and I go to my custom, I look for that particular ATM. I have one here with a 5, 10, and 20 with a -5. So that comes up there. I click on the ATM strategy. I can see what that is. If we have any questions on it, on this part of it, let me know. Again, if I want, when I come in the morning, if I see this ATM up here, here's something that I'll do also. Let's say a news trade is coming up, and I only want to risk one target, two targets, have two targets out. I will readjust the stop loss because I don't like taking more than a 4-tick stop on most of my trades, especially the oil news. And I'll set it up like that and run this up to 10, 15, and this one might even go up to 50. That's got to be the same. One. It just depends on the day. When I'm talking to some other people, we'll figure something out, and all of us have different ATM strategies that we use, but every one of us use a stop loss. We might have different profit targets, but we're using different we definitely have close to the same stop loss within 2 ticks up or down on that. If I don't save this, I hit OK. Now this strategy will come out. You have to change the quantity here too. This will stay the same as long as I keep the chart open. If I close the chart, it will go away. If I, let's say I use no, not that. Say I pick another ATM, and then I want to go back to it. You want to remember it reverts back to what the original one was. So keep that in mind. I know that was pretty quick, pretty easy. Does anybody want me to go over another one? Simple one. Just a basic stop and target. Everybody got it? How to set up trailing stops. So let's take a look at the chart here again. And I'm going to add the trailing stop to this 5, 10, and 20. Once you have that done, you open up your ATM strategy, and these stop strategies run right here. Let's say I want a stop once price goes in my direction 6 ticks. I want to break even. And after that trail, the 6 ticks, this one here would be hit already. So I don't need anything for this one. I'll need one for here and one for here. So let's go to custom and make one. Profit trigger 6, and I keep this here plus at 0. So that goes to break even. If I want, say it goes 6 ticks and I want to go +1 or +2, goes 6 ticks, this will move your stop to +2. We'll keep that at 0 for right now. And step 1, stop loss, I want that set at 8 ticks for a trail. 1. Frequency, when it hits 8 ticks, goes forward 1, plus it'll trail at 8 ticks. So it has to go to 8 ticks. If it goes to 10, it'll lock in 2, and it keeps ratcheting down. 3, and I will put this third part at 8 also. And that's all of the, that's the, oops, 8. So if it goes 8 ticks, it'll start trailing eight behind. Pretty simple on that. Once I have that set, I will go ahead and manage the stop. I think I already have that one. 6. Want to tell it what I want it to do. 6 is a break even, BE, and 8, and I just put T for trail, and I'll save that. So it comes down here, it's done. Go back to the custom, 8 BE, 6 trail, it's there. Hit OK, and I want it for this one here also. I can, let me shut this down. I'll get out of, no. I want to watch this live market here, so I'll bring down bonds that I have in. Let's open this up. Let's go to CL. It looks like it's moving. We'll load that. We'll put this ATM in. See that we're right here. I'll try to get in here. Sell. With this, I don't want to shut the feed down. There we go. Let's see if this goes in our direction. I am in sim here. There's a 7 tick stop. If we go to, if I were to shut this down and go to, I'd have to disconnect. Top steps trader is what I'm in right now, and would have to go to simulated data feed, where I can actually push the price up in the direction I want it to go to watch the ATM work. Maybe we'll get to this. We'll try to do this right after the 2 o'clock trade on that. Does anybody have any questions on this part of it? Really would like you to see that. Play around with it. Use your stop loss has to fit with your risk tolerance, and profit targets can be as little or as much as you think you can get out of it. Again, I'm a scalper, and it does not hurt me to take 3-4 ticks on anything. It doesn't matter what the market is. Something's better than nothing. Maybe this will go in our direction. Oh, that's ES. Let me close that. I thought I seen CL moving a little bit. There we go. Let's just throw a sell order in here, see if it comes down. Thinking I'm in a real trade, I do want it to go in the right direction. So we'll take that. Doesn't look like too bad of a short. We just had an equal top here. 1 tick. And this could take a while. So if anybody has any questions, write them out. I'm going to open up my CL trade for the 1 minute chart and get that up above me. This chart here is going to come up a little bit. Let's close that and get it up here. As I want to see the lines coming out as soon as the 2 o'clock trade starts to form. Chris, it's just a trade that I'll take at 2 o'clock. It's getting close to the end of the day. Some markets are closing down around that time. Usually you'll see some movement. Sometimes it happens right at 2. Sometimes it'll take 10, 15 minutes, but if I'm sitting here at the computer or working around real close here, I'll keep an eye on it from 2 to about 2:35. It's a time trade, yes. Might have had enough time to run this. I'm just afraid to shut things down and then try to turn it back on, and it's so close to the hour, top of the hour. Did anybody take the CL trade on the news report? Robert. I had a big discussion with myself and a couple other people prior to taking this trade. Some of you knew that in the room I was down. That last trade I put in that I let go, I ended up with $700 down. And I took a look at, I know that was over my limit, but with the way I work things, I keep moving. If I make 400, the excess goes, so it shows that all my days will show 400. If I've made over 400, I just keep pushing that forward a day. So at some points I could be 30 days ahead or a month ahead. So even if I take a loss today, it will still look like I made 400. Because I was down 700, I looked at it and I said, well, I can afford another $300 loss. I was talking to him. I said, I'm going to go ahead and put it in with 4 tick stop, 3 targets, and I ended up getting everything back and then some. You got 50 ticks, Sally? Yeah, so did I. Here's the was able to get in and out at the same time. I have an entry and an exit of it at the same point. Pretty close. The ATM I used on that I set up for it was 4 tick. This is the actual ATM. A 20, 25, and a 50. I actually got taken out 4 ticks on one of the contracts. It would have been this one. It never went 50 to the downside. I did get the 2. It turned around. As it was coming back up, I took the buy and dropped it right here and went on up with it. So 53 on one contract. Good, Robert. Very good. I know we're jumping ahead of ourselves here a little bit on the best trade. I'm not done with these slides yet. Take a look at that. There's something I want to talk about. ATM and OCO. OCO cancels other, one cancels other, or order cancel order. If you enable OCO, then place more than one order on a chart. When one of these orders gets filled, the other ones is canceled. So let's take a look at that right now, and I'm going to pull this up here because we are starting to go live. If you right click on this chart, and I know I've gone over OCO before, here's the thing you want to be aware of. When trading live with this, and you put the order in, let's just say I put an order in way up here, put an order in there, put the order in down here, and you say, oops, I don't want that, I'm going to cancel that. Then you go to put a new one in. an order here and here. You may not, if say you got in the trade and you go look at your results of your win, if you win it, it may show up like you've made nothing because actually you didn't. I know in the past I've used OCO in live, everything is fine. I don't know what happened, but this recently came up again for 2 weeks in a row. A friend of mine trading had the problem. He called Ninja, and I want to pass this on to you. I have not used this since, at least not that I can remember. I've used OCO. I use OCO quite often, but I use it on different charts, and I might have put it on one chart and then went to another chart, used it again. But here's the thing. You'll find this on Ninja 8 also. Once you put the order in and say you got into it, close it out, you have to come in here and uncheck OCO and put OCO back in order for that trade to work on your live session. So be careful with that. If you put the OCO on, remember to cancel it. You can go with Control Z. Control Z turns it off and on. Control Z, Control C. On my other computer, I just got in the habit of hitting those two buttons, so that doesn't give me a problem anymore. Very important to keep that in mind. I like using OCOs for the most part when I am trading news. Or if I know my account can't handle more than one, I'm going to go ahead and take this trade here. I don't particularly care for this ATM here, so I don't want to lose a whole bunch. I'll use a 3, 5, and a 7. I like the short better than the long, especially where the price is here. I'm looking at the news. Unless we start breakout, it's tried a couple of times and failed. Now, this trade could happen pretty quick, or it could take a little bit of time. 3, 5 is pretty decent for this. I'll keep that out. Has anybody else had any problems with the OCO ever? I know I had big problems with it at the beginning, years ago, because I just didn't understand it. And I was talking to Dan even, and he was telling me that he had traded it also. I let him know about it, trading the OCO on it. Russ, Ian, both have had problems with it, trading their accounts. And I was able to hear the conversation between Ninja Trader and Russ. So that's what they said anyway. So be careful with it. If you think you're going to go live and you accidentally get taken in, get out, just remember Control Z. Control Z will turn. I do it twice. You have to click the right side of the chart here, left click it, and Control Z, Control. Now, once these orders are out, it's not going to put it in now. If I put this in here, it will not make these two orders a OCO. You have to put the OCO on before you put the orders in. On this ATM here, I do not have a trailing stop. Another nice one would be is if you were using, say, one contract and you had a 20 tick target with a 10 tick stop, and then you could go with this one here's set up for a break even. We'll go with that there. And hit OK. I am going to keep this one here too. I want a 10, 20, 10, 20, BE6, 8 trail. No fill. Now I'm not going to lose nothing on it. Come on, fill it. Goes down to 3 again and out. I didn't make too much on that. This order here can still stay. I still think it's going to go down. And take a look where it possibly could go. Down to overnight. Actually, this is yesterday's high. We could head back down there. Looks pretty good there. I wouldn't go too much more than 20 ticks on that. I was down enough today, I don't feel like I need to go any lower. I'll keep that order to the long side, just in case it does want to come down. Take a look at the 2 o'clock trade on your own. Do some back testing on it. And I like watching it going in 15-minute increments now. 2:15 and then to 2:30. By 2:45, it's pretty much flattened out, and I'm done with it. I don't want to be around the computer this long anyway, sitting behind a desk. I'll keep that one out there for a while. And we've already took a look at some charts for part 2. Part 3, the Mastermind. Let me grab the, I want that minute chart up so I can see it. I'll put that above me. And I think, find the other minute chart. We'll take a look at that one. I must have closed it out. I don't see it. Don't matter right now, I'm long. Tighten that up a little bit. Let's see if it wants to test these highs again. It's trying. It's failed. If it doesn't, this is the third failure on it. I'll pull this up above me. I'll keep the stop at 44.73. Part 3, the Mastermind wins, lessons, and Q&A. What was your best trade so far this past week? If you have a microphone, let me know. I'll unmute you. Otherwise, just type it in the chat box. You've seen my best trade for the day, for the week. I'm pretty impressed with that. While I was making the slides up, before that even happened, I did have a trade. It was last Thursday. That was my best trade. So if you, yes, unmute me, Robert. Let's go to Robert.
Hi, Ted. Thank you very much for taking my call.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad you had me unmute you.
Thank you. I've been playing with this type of trading setup that you're teaching here, the brackets on simulation. And today was the first time I went live, so I did a little bit conservatively in one aspect. I kept it at one contract, and I had it set at 21 ticks profit and 10 tick stop loss. And on the short side, it hit 21 ticks right on the button, but on the long side, during the second minute bar, it gave me 32 ticks on the long side. So this was a very successful first time that I used the bracket trade setup that you've been teaching us. So thank you for doing that.
You're welcome. That was off the oil report?
Yes, it was.
Okay. You got positive slippage. That's real good. That's good in your favor.
Yeah.
What I want you to be aware of, that positive slippage is good when it works for you. What is called is negative slippage when it works against you. So that's why I don't know. I haven't been taken out on a 4 tick in so long. Today was the first day that it actually took me out at 4 ticks.
Mm-hmm.
Even, but it had came down. But if the trade goes in the wrong direction, right off the bat, say it comes in and gets you in 1 tick, by 1 tick, and it turns around and goes back the other way, up 21 ticks,
yeah,
the slippage could get you there. So I want you to be aware of that. So when trading news, make sure that you can handle the loss of at least double of what you have your stop out at.
Okay, thank you for
So
that
if you're
tip.
looking at $100 loss, I'll tell you, and I go over this all the time. I was trading in a boot camp live at an oil report, 2 contracts out, and I was down like $2,200 with just that one trade. And I swore I'd never trade it again. It it took me a long time to start trading it again. Now here's another thing. I was telling Dan, I was talking to him prior to this trade coming up, and I said, I'm getting real nervous with myself on this trade because it's 31 weeks that I've taken this trade. There's only 1 week out of 32 that I have not taken it, and that was when I was on vacation. I have won that trade, and I'm due for a loss. Today could have been it if I only had one. Actually, no. If I had my targets too far out, it could have got me out. The 50 didn't get hit, but if I had the 3 contracts out, let's say I put all 3 of them at 10 ticks, good for $300, right?
Right.
Could have been 900 if it went 30 ticks because of the positive slippage. That hammers right on down. Looks like I took a loss on that oil trade. I'm down to $1,020 for the day. But just keep that in mind. If you have a 10 tick stop and you're running 2 contracts, that's $200. Be prepared. You could get $400 loss on that, if not more.
Okay.
And what I find that this is works on is that it does this to me is CL and natural gas, both of them. Those are the 2 that move the biggest amount and can really. I love it when we're all green, and trading it in live is definitely a little different than trading it in sim. I think you get better fills trading live.
Okay.
Myself, but another guy I know that trades it, he gets slipped more, and he's trying to figure out what he can do to eliminate that, and I just don't trade it. But I love taking that trade. That's a favorite trade of mine. That one's pulled me out of the hole more Wednesdays than I really want to.
Yeah. In terms of the slippage, could it be when you submit your
That's what I
bracket
tell
orders?
That's what I tell them. I'm putting mine in. I'm putting mine in manually.
Yes.
And I know where I want to go. You've seen me put them on. You watch me do my news trades and stuff for 8:30 trade, whatever. That's how I put them on. So I might be in, even if it's 1 whole second earlier than what he can get in. That's going to make a difference. You're going to get a little better fill. But anybody that gets like a 15 tick, they put it out a little bit too late. There's that many more people in front of you. But with that news there, it hammers so hard. You've seen the chart here. It went down and up so bad.
Yes.
And I was just glad because I know 2 of the guys there put their orders out at 2 contracts, one with 1 positive target, and they left the other one open. Well, they got filled on one for sure, and then they get ready to close this button as soon as they start seeing it go against them. But this here went so quick. I don't know how the heck they did it. You can see here I actually got in earlier than what he might have. He might have got in. Well, both those guys, they hit their target, and then they hit close. They made over 380, both of them.
Nice.
And they
Nice.
only took it on the one side. I didn't have an OCO out.
I used the ATM, and I had my orders submitted at least 1 minute before 30 minutes after the hour. So I'm wondering if that has something to do with the fills and the slippage on the backside, because my order would be placed first before those who had submitted after that.
I don't like putting it out that early. I'll put it out maybe 30 seconds.
Uh-huh.
You were out even earlier than mine. I like to get in between 15 and 30 seconds, and if I can get a little closer to that, I like it. But today, if you notice, go watch it in market replay.
Sure.
Watch what it did, and I told him, I said, this thing is setting up for a short. It wants to go short, but take a look at it and go over it. Just go over the last 3 minutes, minute prior to a minute after, and just keep running it back and forth, and you're going to see what I call is a flicker. And that's what it was telling me, and I told him, I said, this thing wants to go short. And if you look back several weeks prior, there was no turnaround. When it took off, it went one direction, and there was no coming back until after the news came out. Then it might have retraced, but once the news took off for several weeks there was no double header, is what I would call today was a double header.
Yes.
So
okay.
I want to thank you for coming on and letting us know what you got there, what you did. I'm glad you did well with it.
Thank you again for your efforts here. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, Richard G., I did trade the inventory as we just seen here. Now, here's natural gas last Thursday. This was my trade for what I put in for my best trade of the week, and that was yesterday. But you can see here where my entry was. When this was also a mistake. I actually put 2 sell orders out, and I was trying to get the sell order here, which I was thinking was a buy, up here, and it didn't let me do it. It hit that and took the order down. So I was able to end up getting a 54 tick and 52 tick. That was on natural gas. That one there will normally go in both directions. And I can't really say what's normal anymore, because whenever you think it's normal, it changes around. I was not expecting it to go straight down and not come back right here. Usually I'll see a spike up and come back down, or a spike down and then go back up. So I was real fortunate there on Thursday also. I don't do the rig count, Robert. I used to, but I don't stick around that long on Fridays. Yes, I changed, Rich. It was over $2,000 on that trade. And saying that day there, the guys that were at the boot camp with me watched me pull that out of the hole from down better than 2,000, and I was positive by 2 o'clock that afternoon. It took a while. I did a lot of back testing and a market replay, and now I feel that and when I take the next loss again, I will do a reevaluation of it. I'd probably go with 2 losses in a row, and then again, it's going to depend on how much I lose. I was using a bigger stop then. Now on my news trades, I'm using a 4-tick stop. On that and natural gas, and I might still use on any other news, I might still use a 5 to a 7, but that one there is one that if I can get out of it early, I will. Robert, you're talking about the rig count. Have you been watching it? Have you looked at it? You know what? What kind of results have you been getting on it? You're just trading it. Well, I don't care if you're trading at sim or not. Is it doing well? Up 20 ticks? Okay. Uh, I used to watch the rig reports when I was just getting out of diving more. Uh, and when rigs were starting to shut down, what I would find is the rigs that they were closing, I knew the rigs that they were closing. I actually had worked on them at one point or another. And for a long time, it might matter now, but when I was watching it, there was a point where I could watch it and trade it, and then it got to a point where I knew what rigs they were shutting down. They would name the rigs. Those rigs were paid out anyway. They were done. With directional drilling and stuff, even underwater now, they've tapped into another spot to pull anything out. So those rigs were, 30, 40 years old, and it was time for them to leave anyway. So I don't really pay attention to the rig report, but now that you have, I'm going to write that down, and I'll take a look at that. What did you learn this week that would benefit others, other traders? If you have a microphone, let me know. I'll unmute you. Otherwise, type it in to the chat box. I have found that at certain points in the morning, I start to tend to over trade, and I have made a note just today, and it's up on one of my screens here. Take more than 3 trades in 2 minutes, I need to stop and step away. That'll keep me from, hopefully it keeps me from over trading. Anybody else learn anything this week? I do also need to pay attention of what I have and how far I'm down for the day. Had I noticed I was down as much as I would have shut it down earlier before getting down. I was actually down more than 700 at one point. A bond trade I was in was able to get me back under 700, and I really had to. I was either going to trade in a different account and take the trade, or trade the same account and see where my risk, or what I could lose and still be ahead. Hopefully, if it didn't turn against me. So that's why I did what I did. Was able to get, well, I was up a little more. I'm at 1,020 for the day, and I'm happy with that. I'm not going to lose anymore. Not today. Might take a little loss tomorrow, but we'll see. Anybody else learn anything? I know Robert did. He learned something today. Be careful with the news trade. I like taking them. I really do. Do you agree? A successful trader is one who believes they are doing the right thing when they take a loss. Jeff Byash. I can remember one time I followed someone. I was trading with them, in a room, and I took a trade with them, or maybe I was a little late, still took the trade, and I blamed him for that. Not physically, I didn't tell him or anything, but I'd get up from my chair and I was yelling at the screen and calling his name out, blaming him for the trade. And I sat down after that, after I cooled off a little bit, and thought about it. And it was all me. I'm the one that put the trade in. Every trade that I have taken this week, there was one that last week, Thursday, I was in the wrong direction. And luckily it went in my direction. But if I had put it up where I was going to, it would have been okay anyway. I had a 4-tick stop. If I had gotten it into the right spot, fine. Didn't. Where it was at was good. But every time I put a trade in, it's a trade that I am following my rules. If I don't follow my rules, then it's me. It's all me. So a successful trader is one who believes they are doing the right thing when they take a loss. So if I take a loss, I did the right thing, regardless if it's an accident or not. I realized I made a mistake. It could have cost me. It didn't. I was ready to get out of the trade until I seen that I could have even done better if I didn't have the OCO on. So just make sure that when you get into a trade, it's the right trade, even if you take a loss. And when you realize this and think about it, you're a successful trader. Mastermind Q&A. What can we help clarify that will help you be a better futures trader? If you have a mic, let me know. I'll unmute you. Otherwise, type it in the chat box. Thank Robert again. I'm going to check the rig report, see if that's worthwhile for me to come in and do it. I do know another trader that looks at it every Friday, and I'll find out if he's actually trading it. So if there's anything that I can help you clarify, let me know. ATM strategies. I don't know who he is. It's something that he had said, Robert. It's a quote. All right, Robert, you too. You have a great rest of the week. Wish everybody a happy 4th. It's coming up here next week. Can't believe the end of the month is already here. Next step, where to go from here. Review your notes and take actions on at least one thing you've learned. Visit us at www.winvesting.com and check out the profitability path. Send in your feedback and suggestions for future episodes to support@winvesting.com. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. I want to thank everybody for coming. Thanks, John, Robert, Alan, Bernard, Billy, Brandon. Hey, thanks for coming. Kathy, Chris, Dave, John. I'm jumping down here, so if I miss your name, sorry. Gene, Kodak. Is that Kojak? I used to know a guy in Louisiana, that's what we called him. Lewis, Lynn, Martin, Mitch, Michael, Rich, Robert, Roland, Sally, TJ, Tim, Vito. Hey, thanks a lot. We'll see you all next time around. Have a great one.